The lights on Deck 9 flickered again. Alex sighed, tapping the screen in front of him. He had been repairing power systems all day, and now, another glitch. Life on the outer space station Argon Delta was never exciting until today. Alex was a quiet man, the type who preferred machines over people. But even he couldn't ignore the new arrival. An alien. Not just any alien, this one was strange. Not because of the skin color, a shiny blue, or the glowing eyes. What caught everyone's attention was the bulge. It was impossible to ignore. The alien suit was tight, and the bulge between its legs was large, almost unnatural. The crew tried not to stare, but they did. Even Alex. The alien introduced itself as Vecra, tall, with smooth skin that shimmered under the ship's light. Vecra walked with quiet confidence. No one knew much about their species, the Varniks, only that they were peaceful and intelligent. Vecra didn't speak much, but when they did, their voice was smooth, calm, and strange, almost like it echoed. Alex was assigned to help Vecra settle in. He didn't want to. He didn't like new people. But orders were orders. The two stood in front of the control panel. Alex showed Vecra how the touch screens worked, how to read system signals. Vecra just nodded. Then silence. Vecra turned slowly toward Alex. Their glowing eyes stared directly at him. Alex swallowed. Why was this alien looking at him like that? Human, Vecra finally spoke. You keep glancing at me. Is the bulge between my legs distracting you? Alex froze. His mouth opened slightly, but no sound came out. His brain screamed. What did they just say? Vecra tilted their head. It is normal to ask, is it not? Among your kind, strange shapes usually mean danger? Alex quickly shook his head. No. I mean, yes. I mean, never mind. The air felt heavier. Vecra didn't move, still watching him closely. Alex felt a mix of fear, curiosity, and something else he couldn't name. Vecra finally looked away. Then let us continue. Alex nodded, pretending to focus on the control panel, but inside, his thoughts were racing. Later that night, Alex sat alone in the mess hall, poking at his food. He had never felt so confused. Why did Vecra ask that? Was it a joke? A threat? And what was that bulge really? He opened his datapad and searched for Varnik's anatomy. But there was little information. Their species was highly private. Some believed they were part machine. Others said they had psychic powers. As he read, the door slid open. Alex didn't look up until he felt the room grow colder. They walked in, silently, and sat across from him. You still think about it, Vecra said, without greeting. Alex blinked. What? Vecra leaned forward. The shape, the bulge. You wonder what it is? Alex stammered. I wasn't thinking about that. Vecra's lips curved slightly. A smile? Maybe. You humans are easy to read, Vecra said. Your eyes, your heartbeat, your energy, all loud. Alex tried to sound brave. Well, you're the one walking around with something weird under your suit. Vecra paused, then stood slowly. I walk as I was born, but you hide what you really want to know. Before Alex could respond, the alarm lights blinked red. A loud buzz echoed through the hall. Emergency alert. Reactor fluctuation on Deck 4. All engineers report. Immediately. Alex jumped up. Vecra didn't. Move. You go, Vecra said. I will follow. On Deck 4, smoke hissed from a cracked power conduit. Sparks flew. Alex and two others worked quickly, sealing wires and running diagnostics. Then, suddenly, a loud bang. One of the crew screamed and fell. A pipe had burst. Toxic gas started to spread. Alex coughed, trying to reach the override valve. But it was too far, and the pressure was rising. Out of the smoke, Vecra appeared. They moved fast, not like a scientist, but like a soldier. Vecra's hands glowed faintly as they reached for the valve and slammed it shut. The gas stopped. Alex stared. His heart pounded. You? How did you? But before he could finish, Vecra stepped close, their face only inches from his. I protect those who show interest, Vecra said quietly, even if they are afraid to ask. Alex didn't know what to say. His hands were shaking. And then, just as suddenly, Vecra turned and walked away, leaving Alex with a dozen questions. And a strange feeling growing inside him. Space is never truly silent. It breathes, not like humans do with lungs and air, but with whispers, humming engines, flickers of light, echoes of movement, and lately, Alex had started hearing more than he should. Since the incident on Deck 4, nothing felt normal. Vecra had saved him. No one else saw it clearly. The gas, the pressure, the glowing hands. Alex told the crew it was just a fast response, but in his heart, he knew better. There was something inside Vecra that didn't match the science reports. Something hidden. Something powerful. And the worst part? Alex couldn't stop thinking about the alien. Or that question, does the bulge between my legs intrigue you, human? That sentence replayed in his mind over and over. Was it just a cultural misunderstanding? A joke? Or something deeper? At night, Alex lay on his bunk, eyes wide open. The station made soft groaning noises, like a metal whale drifting in deep space. His room was small, a bed, a table, and a metal shelf with a few tools. But lately, he had started hearing something else. Tap. 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 At first, he thought it was pipes or loose panels. But the tapping came at the same time every night. Quiet, steady, like fingers. Or code. One night, he decided to find the source. He followed the sound down a dim corridor, past empty quarters and dark windows. The tapping led him to an old maintenance hallway no one used anymore. And there, in the middle of the hallway, stood Vecra, alone, silent, staring out a window. Alex's breath caught. Vecra didn't turn around, but spoke. You heard it, they said. Alex blinked. The tapping? Yes, what is it? Vecra turned, slowly. Their eyes glowed faintly in the dark. Not a sound. A message. A message? Alex laughed nervously. From who? Vecra stepped closer. From those who watch us, always. Alex's smile faded. You mean something is watching this station? Vecra nodded. Yes, watching you. Especially. The next morning, Alex tried to act normal. He joined the crew in the control room, checked systems, and made bad coffee like always. But inside he was boiling with questions. What had Vecra meant? Were they being watched? Was it connected to the energy fluctuation? Or the psychic link he had felt during their touch? And why him? Why was Vecra so interested in him? Later that day, Alex went to the storage bay to inspect some damaged panels. The lights flickered as usual. He was alone, or so he thought, then. He felt it again, that strange energy. That invisible pressure in the air, like something was about to happen. He turned around. Vecra was there, leaning casually against the wall. You're following me, Alex said, more confused than angry. You're easy to follow, Vecra replied. You leave. Emotional footprints. What does that mean? Vecra walked slowly toward him. Your feelings echo through the station. Curiosity, fear, attraction. Alex swallowed. Attraction? You feel it, Vecra said calmly. But you hide. It, like your species always does. Alex took a step back. I don't know what you're talking about. Vecra tilted their head. Do you know what the bulge is, human? Do you still wonder? Alex's cheeks turned red. I mean, yeah, I wonder. Everyone does. It's not exactly normal looking. Vecra stepped even closer, until they were inches apart. Do you want to see what it really is? Alex opened his mouth to speak, but a siren blared suddenly. And the lights turned red. Emergency lockdown. A I-core malfunction. Alex ran to the command center. The ship's AI was blinking erratically. Data streams were crashing. It looked like someone had accessed the system from an unknown port. The captain shouted, "We've been hacked. External link from outside the solar zone." But Alex didn't believe it. He glanced at Vecra, who stood silently at the back. He remembered the tapping, the strange message. The invisible watcher. This wasn't just a hack. Something, or someone had made contact. Later that night, Alex returned to his room. His head was spinning. He wanted answers. He tapped his communicator. "Vecra, meet me. Observation deck, now." The observation deck was empty, quiet, and filled with stars. Earth was just a tiny blue dot in the distance. Vecra arrived, walking. Without a sound. "You're angry," they said. "I want the truth," Alex replied. Vecra looked out the window. "The bulge is not what you think. It's not sexual. It's not dangerous. It is connection." Connection to what? To minds. To energy. To memory. To life beyond your kind. Alex frowned. "So you're psychic?" Vecra nodded. "The organ beneath our suits links us to others. But it only opens when trust is strong." Alex's voice softened. "Why me?" "Because your mind is loud," Vecra whispered. "But honest." There was a pause. Then Vecra slowly removed the outer layer of their suit, just around the strange bulge. What Alex saw was not human. Not flesh. Not machine. It looked like light. Pure, living energy, pulsing inside a crystal shell. "It's beautiful," Alex whispered. Vecra looked into his eyes. "Do you still feel fear?" Alex shook his head. "I feel something else." And for the first time, he understood. This wasn't about sex, or species, or even curiosity. It was about understanding. The silence between them was full of meaning. Full of secrets. Full of something new being born. In deep space, one thing is more dangerous than an alien enemy. Miscommunication. 2 days passed since Alex had seen what was truly under Vecra's suit. Not skin, not bone, but something else. Something alive and glowing. He couldn't stop thinking about it. The image had burned itself into his brain. The way the crystal pulsed with energy. The way it seemed to feel everything around it. The way Vecra had said, "It opens only with trust." And maybe Alex trusted them now. But just as that trust began to grow, everything went wrong. It started small. Vecra's voice had always been slightly strange, like a whisper layered over another voice. But now when they spoke, something was off. "Alex, your light is flickering." "Delightful." Alex frowned. "My what?" "You beam loudly in corners of emotional soup." Alex raised an eyebrow. "What the hell does that mean?" Vecra tilted their head, confused. "I offer pickled clarity." "Okay, what is happening right now?" That's when it hit him, the translator implant. All crew members and authorized aliens used a neural translator chip for daily communication. It decoded language and intent from brain signals. If it glitched, meanings twisted. Alex ran to the medbay and scanned Vecra's device. "Your translator's not syncing. The software's degrading." Vecra blinked. "That explains my strange soup language." Alex laughed. "Yeah, definitely not your best poetry." But the smile didn't last. Because soon, things got worse. During a system repair in the engine bay, Vecra tried to warn a crew member about a pressure valve, but the translator broke mid-sentence. "Human, you must. The pipe is nozzle. Emotional vapor bloom." The crew member didn't understand. By the time Alex rushed in, steam exploded, and the officer's leg was badly burned. The captain was furious. "I don't care if it's a glitch. If your alien can't speak properly, they're a danger to the station." Alex defended Vecra, but doubt was spreading among the crew. They didn't trust the glowing alien anymore. Later that night, Vecra sat in silence on the floor of the cargo bay. their hands resting on their knees. Alex found them there. You okay? Vecra didn't look up. I am breaking. No, your translator's breaking, Alex said. We'll fix it. Vecra shook their head. It is not the machine, it is me. I do not translate well. My thoughts are too loud. Your minds are too narrow. We do not fit. Alex sat beside them. Maybe it's not about fitting, he said softly. Maybe it's about learning to bend. Vecra finally looked at him. Their glow had dimmed. I hurt someone today. It wasn't your fault, but it was my message, my voice, my warning, useless. Alex paused. Can I ask something? Vecra nodded. What did you mean when you said my light flickers? Vecra smiled faintly. I meant your emotions are not still. They dance like a candle in wind. You are never fully angry or fully calm. You are both. Alex stared into Vecra's glowing eyes. You see that? I feel it, they said. And more. The next morning, Alex met with the station AI engineer to patch the translator, but something strange appeared in the logs. Unauthorized access. From Vecra's device. Looks like someone tried to rewrite their translation code, the engineer said, but the code isn't in any known human format. It's organic. Alex's stomach twisted. Organic? The engineer shrugged. More like ... thoughts than lines of code. It's rewriting itself, like it's learning how we speak, but not through data. Through feeling. Alex kept quiet. But his mind raced. Was Vecra's translator just a tool, or was it alive? That night, during a ship-wide maintenance blackout, Alex's communicator buzzed. Incoming message from Vecra, encrypted channel. Come to the hydro lab. Come alone, no ears. The hydroponic lab was dark, filled with strange alien plants and fogged glass tanks. Soft green light glowed from the floor. Vkr. A stood in the center, holding a small device that pulsed with color. What is that? Alex whispered. Vkra held it up. It's not a translator. Not anymore. It is memory. Alex took a step back. Memory of what? Of your kind, of mine. Of what came before. I don't understand. Vecra walked forward slowly. Your language is simple, but your emotions are not. So I built a way to speak to you, through feeling. Alex frowned. You're saying this thing doesn't just translate words. No. It translates truth. Vecra placed the glowing orb into Alex's hands. He felt warmth spread through his fingers. Then images. Emotions, whole experiences. He saw a planet dying in silence. An alien child clutching a glowing stone. Loneliness stretching over years like cold fog. A hope. In human connection, Alex gasped and dropped the orb. Vekara caught it. You felt it. Alex nodded, breathless. I saw your past, all of it, like a dream. That is how we speak, Vecra said softly. Not with mouths, but with memory. Suddenly, alarms blared. Security breach, unauthorized energy spike, hydro bay. Alex's cum buzzed. Alex, what's going on? Did the alien attack you? He froze. No, they didn't. But it was too late. The door burst. Open. Guards rushed in, weapons raised. Step away from the alien. Vecra didn't move. I mean no harm. One guard fired. A stun bolt hit Vecra in the chest. They collapsed, glowing dimmer, pulse flickering. Alex ran forward. No, stop. They're not the threat. But the guards dragged Vecra away. In the silence that followed, Alex sat alone on the floor, still holding the orb. It pulsed gently, like a heartbeat. He remembered what Vecra said. I do not translate well, unless someone listens with more than ears. And suddenly, he knew what he had to do. He had to get them back. He had to finish the message. Alex stood outside the medical containment bay, staring through the thick glass. Inside, Vecra floated slightly above a metal table, unconscious. Soft blue light flickered from wires connected to their body. 2 guards stood nearby, cold, silent, ready. Alex's fists were clenched. "They didn't do anything," he whispered. "They accessed secured systems," the captain replied. "They made unauthorized modifications to our AI, to your translator, and triggered an energy spike we still can't explain." Alex didn't look away from the glass. "You're wrong. You're scared of something you don't understand." The captain stepped closer. "You think that glowing alien is your friend? Wake up, Alex. This is a military station, not a space romance drama." Later, in his quarters, Alex sat in the dark. His hands trembled as he held the strange orb Vecra had given him. It pulsed lightly in his palm, warm, familiar. When Vecra shared their memories, Alex had felt them, not just seen images but lived them. A dying planet, a collapsing society, fear, hope, loneliness, and the last memory, a vision of Earth. Not as a threat, but as a chance. Alex remembered Vecra's voice. "We did not come to conquer. We came to survive." The next morning, the station received a transmission from Earth Command. It was cold and direct. "Detain the Varnic subject for full biological scan and interrogation. If the entity resists, terminate." Alex read the words 3 times. Terminate. He had to. Alex hacked into the medbay schedule and created a false maintenance order. At 02:00 hours, the system auto-opened the outer door. He slipped in quietly. Vecra was still asleep, but their glow had returned. Faint but alive. He stepped closer. "I'm getting you out of here," Alex whispered. The orb in his pocket pulsed slightly, as if it understood. Then, a soft voice. "You came back." Vecra's eyes opened slowly. Their glow was weak but calm. "You should not risk this," they said. "I already have," Alex replied. Alex carefully unplugged the monitoring lines. Vecra winced. "I feel your heart," they whispered. "It is loud." "Scared hearts beat loud," Alex said. "No," Vecra replied. "Yours is full of something else. Rage, love, truth." Alex looked into their glowing eyes. "Tell me the real reason you came here. No more riddles." Vecra closed their eyes. "We came because our world is dying. Our species can no longer connect. The bond has weakened. The core organ, the one you stare at, it is not for reproduction. It is for survival. It links us, emotion to emotion, thought to thought. But it only works when 2 minds trust each other completely." Alex was silent. You wanted to bond with a human?" Vecra nodded. "Not just any human. A human who feels, who listens beyond sound. One with an open heart." Alex swallowed. "And you think that's me?" "I know it is," Vecra whispered. "You felt my truth. You held my memory." Suddenly, alarms blared again. Alert. Containment. Breach. Medical Bay 3. Alex grabbed Vecra's hand. "We have to go, now." They ran through the lower decks. Lights flickered. Doors locked behind them as Alex used his override codes. The station AI was slow to respond, almost like it was hesitating. Vecra glanced back. "They will catch us." "No," Alex said. "I know a place." He led them to an unused engineering crawlspace behind Reactor Sector C, a maze of tunnels. Forgotten by most of the crew, they crawled inside and sealed the hatch. For a moment, there was silence. Then, Vecra reached out. The orb between them glowed brighter. It floated from Alex's pocket and hovered between their hands. "I want you to see it all," Vecra said. Alex nodded. The orb burst with light. Memory DV. Alex was no longer in the crawlspace. He stood in the middle of a silver city under a violet sky. Alien towers shimmered like glass. The streets pulsed with light. Varnic's children laughed, their minds linked in harmony. Then, darkness. Buildings crumbled. Skies cracked. Screams echoed. The bond that united their kind was fading. In the Center of the chaos stood a council, the last of the Varnix elders. We must find a species with strong emotion, with open minds, with willpower that endures pain. They looked toward a blue planet, Earth. The scene shifted again. Vecra stood before them, selected to travel, to search, to bond. They spoke only one line. I will find the human who still listens with their soul. Alex gasped and came back to the real world. His face was wet. He had been crying. You saw it, Vecra said gently. I felt it, Alex whispered. All of it. They sat there together in silence. No need for words, but the silence didn't last. The hatch burst open. Guards flooded the crawl space, weapons aimed. Don't move. Alex stood in front of Vecra. Stop, they're not a threat. The captain stepped in behind the guards. Stand down, Alex. Move or you'll be charged with treason. Alex raised his hands. Just listen, please. You don't need translators. Just feel this. He threw the orb to the floor. It pulsed once, twice, then exploded in light. For a moment, everyone saw the dying world, the memories, the hope, the trust. Even the captain stood frozen, mouth slightly open, eyes wide. Then, silence again. Vkra stood slowly, body glowing with soft light. I do not want war, they said calmly. I only want to belong. No one moved, not even the captain. Later that night, Vecra remained in temporary quarters, still under guard, but no longer chained. The station was quiet. Alex stood alone in the observatory, staring at Earth in the fog. Distance. He didn't know what would happen next. Would Earth Command allow Vecra to stay? Would they see what Alex saw, or would fear blind them again? But one thing was clear. Alex wasn't afraid anymore, because he had learned one thing, one truth. Real connection isn't made by language. It's made by courage, and maybe, just maybe, the bulge between Vecra's legs wasn't something to fear. Maybe it was humanity's last chance to understand something greater. Asterisk. You don't understand someone until you've seen the world through their mind, not their eyes. Silence lingered in the observation deck like a heavy fog. Stars drifted past the glass, endless and cold. Alex stood still, eyes lost in the blackness. He wasn't the same person he was when he first arrived on Argon Delta. He wasn't even sure he was fully human anymore. Ever since the orb released its memories to the crew, showing Vecra's past, their world, their mission, things had changed on the station. No one looked at Vecra the same way anymore. Some with pity, some with awe, some still with fear. The captain placed Vecra under diplomatic monitoring, a polite way of saying, you're not a prisoner, but we're watching you. Alex, on the other hand, had been banned from all secure decks. His badge was downgraded, his access revoked, yet he didn't care. He only wanted answers. And Vecra was the only one who could give them. That night, Alex found himself in the unused botanical lab again. The lights were dim. Green vines and alien flowers glowed faintly in the corners, and Vecra stood in the middle of it all, like a spirit summoned by thought alone. You returned, they said without turning. You knew I would, Alex replied. Vecra turned, a soft pulse of light running through the crystal center beneath their suit. We are close, they whispered. But closeness is not enough. Alex took a deep breath. Then what is? Vecra stepped forward, slowly. A full dive. Alex blinked. Into your memory again? Vecra shook their head. No, this time you will dive. Into both of us. Into what's buried. Into what's coming. Alex sat down across from Vecra. Between them, a new orb, larger, clearer than before, hovered above a pedestal. Vecra's hand rested above it. Are you ready to see what you cannot unsee? Alex nodded. Yes. Vecra placed their hand on the orb. Then, open. The memory dive BGANS. Alex felt himself pulled into a sea of light. He wasn't in the lab anymore. He wasn't in his body. He was everywhere. First, He stood inside Vikra's memories. He saw the city again, the silver towers of the Varnix world, children dancing through light tunnels, minds linked in harmony. But this time, he felt what Vikra felt, the pride of their culture. The warmth of connection, the taste of shared emotion. Then, everything changed. He saw the collapse, but from inside Vikra's own body, he felt the pain as their people disconnected. Saw minds grow cold, hearts fall silent. Saw Vikra's parents vanish into dust as their bond shattered. Loneliness, raw and endless. But then, something else. A council chamber. A forbidden vision. The Varnix had seen a pattern in the universe. A cycle. Connection breaks, gives, collapse follows. It had happened before, on other planets. On Earth's ancient civilizations. On long-lost species. The Varnix called it the silent cycle. And Earth was entering it. Alex gasped. The memory orb twisted again. Now he saw himself. Through Vikra's mind. Saw how his emotions shimmered like fire, how his mind was unguarded, open, chaotic, but alive. And then, he saw something terrifying. A black sphere in deep space. Not a planet. Not a ship. Something alive. Watching Earth. Feeding on disconnection. On fear, on lies. A cosmic parasite that lived off civilizations. Right before they collapsed, Vikra's voice echoed across the memory. We call it the Voidmond. It feeds on minds divided, hearts that turn cold. Alex fell backward into a new vision. He saw Earth. Cities burning. People screaming at screens. Families isolated by walls. Nations shouting across borders. Divided. Disconnected. Ripe. And above. The planet. The Voidmond. Pulsing silently. Waiting. The dive snapped shut. Alex crashed back into his body, heart pounding. Sweat ran down his face. His eyes wide with horror. Vikra was staring at him. You saw it. Alex nodded, breathless. It's real. The parasite. It's coming. No, Vikra whispered. It's already here. They sat in silence, both shaking. The orb slowly dimmed. Alex finally spoke. Why did you show me this now? Because your planet is on the edge, Vikra said. And your people won't listen to warnings. They'll only listen to you. Alex laughed bitterly. They barely listen to me here. Then you must make them listen. Feel what you feel. See what you see. Alex rubbed his face. And how do I do that? Vikra looked at him with glowing eyes. Bond with me. Fully. Alex froze. You mean the psychic link? But what happens if I do? Vikra stepped closer. You will become more. You will carry part of me. My knowledge. My voice. And the cost? Vikra paused. Your mind may never be the same. Alex thought of Earth, of the images he had just seen, screaming cities, broken connections, the black thing in the sky. Then he looked at Vikra. At the hope still shining in their chest. I'll do it, he whispered. Vikra's hands trembled slightly. You're sure? I trust you, Alex said. Even if I don't understand everything. That's what trust is. They stood together. Vikra placed both hands on Alex's chest. Their crystal core pulsed. Brighter. Then, it opened. A beam of light stretched between them. Not light. Thought. Emotion. Memory. Soul. Alex gasped as his mind lit up like a supernova. He felt Vikra's consciousness weaving into his own. He saw alien equations, star maps, songs of ancient creatures, and universal truths about love, survival, connection. He saw himself through Vikra's eyes, flawed, scared, but alive. The bond sealed. Alex fell to his knees, laughing and crying at the same time. I feel everything, he whispered. Yes, Vikra said softly. And now, so will they. The station alarm blared. Emergency broadcast from Earth Command. Global unrest. Satellite interference. Civilian panic. The Voidmond had begun its feeding. But now, Earth had something new. Something unexpected. A human carrying the voice of another world. Alex stood up slowly, his body humming with energy. He looked at Vecra. We're going to stop it. Vecra nodded. Together. Asterisk, you don't feel change. When it begins. You only realize it later, when you look in the mirror. And something inside you is no longer human. Alex didn't sleep that night. He couldn't. Not because he was afraid, but because his mind wouldn't stop glowing. He sat alone in the crew quarters, staring at his hands. They looked the same, but something inside them thrummed with power, something alive. As if the bond with Vecra had planted a second consciousness in his bones. Not an invasion. More like an awakening. His heartbeat no longer echoed in his ears. It echoed across the station. He could feel emotions nearby. Fear from the captain's office. Suspicion from the guards outside engineering. Confusion from the lower decks, where rumors about the glowing engineer had begun to spread. And under all of it, a dark pulse. The void mind. It was getting closer. Alex stood and walked to the window. Earth floated below like a wounded animal, blue and beautiful but unaware of the shadow above. He closed his eyes. Then, without touching a thing, the window control panel lit up. He opened his eyes in surprise. Did I do that? The door behind him slid open. Vecra entered, their glow softer now, calmer, as if something inside them had been given away and replaced with peace. You're stabilizing, Vecra said, faster than I expected. I changed something. Without touching it, Alex said quietly. Is that supposed to happen? Vecra nodded. Yes, you now carry part of our resonance. With time, it will become stronger. But more dangerous. Alex turned. Dangerous to who? To those who lie, Vecra said. To those who try to control what can't be controlled. To those feeding the voidmend. Alex sat down slowly. I can hear people now. Not their words, but how they feel. That's how the Varniks survived, Vecra said. By sensing emotion instead of decoding language. We built peace not by talking, but by listening to hearts. Alex looked away. Earth's not ready for that. Vecra stepped closer. That's why we chose you. Later that day, the station was in chaos. Earth Command had cut off communication. Satellite data showed strange gravitational shifts near the moon, invisible. But massive ships around the solar system reported brief blackouts, like something was drinking power from space itself. And on Earth, the news was worse. Economic crashes, citywide protests, a mass fear. The voidmend was feeding, and the humans didn't even know what was happening. Alex knew what he had to do. He walked straight into the command deck, where officers stared at screens in panic. The captain stood at the center, shouting orders, until she saw him. You're not authorized to be here. Alex raised a hand. The lights dimmed. Screens froze. The room fell silent. I don't need authorization anymore, he said quietly. I need your attention. The crew looked at him like he was something alien, and maybe he was. His voice vibrated with something deeper now. Not volume, truth. I know what's happening, Alex said. I know what's feeding on your world. And I know how to stop it. The captain folded her arms. You're an engineer. You've spent a week talking to a crystal-blooded alien, and now you expect us to follow you? Alex stepped forward, and then he touched her shoulder. A pulse of light passed between them. Her eyes widened. She saw it. For 1 second, the dying cities, the black shape, the fear it fed on. Then she staggered back. You showed me. Alex nodded. That's what the bond does. That's what the Varniks evolved to do, to connect. And that's what the voidmend wants to destroy. The captain sat down slowly, her face pale. What do you want from us? Not much, Alex said. Just a broadcast. Later that evening, every frequency on Earth, digital, radio, even analog, received a signal. It wasn't a speech. Not exactly. It was a feeling. Alex stood in a chamber surrounded by Varniks tech, with Vakra beside him. The orb floated between them, glowing bright. He opened his mind and sent Earth a memory. Not words, not warnings, but truths. He showed people what he had seen. The silent cycle, the Voidmen's hunger, humanity's drifting hearts. The danger of division. And then, he showed Vikra's love, their dream to connect. To feel again. To not die alone in a universe that only survives by cutting bonds. For 23 minutes, Earth felt everything. And the world went quiet. Back on the station, Alex collapsed, breathing hard. The bond had drained him. Vakra caught him. You did it. Alex smiled weakly. I don't know if they listened. They did, Vakra whispered. I can feel their minds shifting. Just enough. But peace didn't last long. Alarm pierced the deck. Proximity warning. Sensors flashed. Gravity warped. The Voidmen had arrived. A massive ripple appeared. In space, not a ship, not a planet, but a floating mass of black mist. It had no form, yet it felt alive. Watching. Hungry. It reached out. Not with tentacles, but with doubt. Across space, humans began fighting again. Old fears returned. The memory broadcast began to fade. Alex fell to his knees. It's too strong. Vakra placed a hand on his back. You lit a fire. Now you must carry it into the dark. Alex looked up. What does that mean? It means it's time to leave. In the final scene, Alex stood at the docking bay. A small ship waiting behind him. Vakra adjusted the interface. You can't go alone, Alex said. I won't, Vakra replied. You're coming with me, Alex blinked. What? You've become part Varnix now, Vakra said. You carry both truths. You are the bridge between minds. Alex looked back toward the station. Toward Earth. Toward what he was leaving behind. Then. Forward. Toward the darkness. Toward the fight. Toward something new. He nodded. Okay, let's finish this. The doors closed. Engines roared. And the human and the alien, now one, launched toward the heart of the Voidmen. Not to kill it, but to show it something it had never felt before. Connection. Asterisk. A soft hum drifted through the small spacecraft. The kind of sound that only exists in machines built far from Earth. It was steady, subtle like a heartbeat trapped in wires. Alex sat in the co-pilot seat, silent, eyes fixed on the black window in front of him. But what he saw wasn't the stars. He saw Earth, in pieces, not physically shattered, but broken where it mattered more, in trust, in feeling, in the invisible bonds that held people together. Fear had spread like wildfire, and the Voidmen had smelled it. It didn't need to touch the planet to drain it. All it had to do was wait. Next to him, Vakra stood calm, their body glowing with a soft inner light. They were no longer a mystery. Not to Alex, not after the dive, not after the bond. They were something between a memory, a guide, a piece of the cosmos wrapped in skin that shimmered like language itself. But even now, with all the knowledge he had absorbed, Alex felt the weight of what they were about to do. Because this wasn't a rescue mission. This was a final stand. The Voidmen filled the screen now. Black mist wrapped around an invisible core. It had no eyes, no mouth, yet it looked alive. And hungry. It didn't roar. It didn't scream. It whispered. Alex could feel it whispering inside his skull, nudging his fears forward, offering him the comfort of isolation. Let go. No one understands you. You're still alone. You never belonged. The thoughts didn't come as words. They came as weight, as pressure, like gravity pulling his heart into silence. Alex clutched the side of the chair, breathing harder. Vakra reached out and placed a hand on his arm. Remember the bond, they whispered. The parasite feeds on doubt, but it can't digest connection. He closed his eyes, focused. Vakra's hand was warm. Not in the physical sense, but in the way hope feels when you're about to fall. He centered himself in the memory of everything they'd shared, his grief, their loss, his questions, their... Ancient silence, and something inside him pulsed back with light. It wasn't human anymore. It was an alien either. It was something new. They entered the mist. It wasn't like flying through a cloud. It was like moving through thought, slow, distorted, cold. Instruments went dead. Lights flickered. Time itself seemed to stretch. Alex didn't speak. He couldn't. The ship's systems were melting down, not from heat but from meaning. Data loops fractured. Calculations forgot their own numbers. The Voidman wasn't just a being. It was anti-language. It ate understanding. But Alex wasn't here to fight it with metal. He reached for the interface and pulled out the sphere, the last of the memory orbs. This one was different. It wasn't built from Varnic's tech. It was made between them, Alex and Vecra, shaped from their link, containing the raw, terrifying, beautiful mix of two souls who had dared to feel everything. "This is it," he said. Vecra nodded. "We send it out, and we don't know what happens after. That is truth," Vecra replied. "But truth is better than silence." Alex placed the orb into the core of the transmission beacon. Then he took a breath, and he spoke not to Earth, not to the Voidmen, but to everything in between. "If you're hearing this, it means you're afraid. That's okay. I was too. I'm still afraid, but I'm not alone anymore, and that changes everything." He paused, voice trembling. "There's something out here that feeds on your fear. It doesn't come with claws. It comes with whispers. It turns your thoughts inward until you forget how to reach someone else, until you forget how to care. And then, when you're hollow, it drinks another breath, but it can't drink what's shared. It can't swallow what's held between two people. I know that now. I felt that with someone I never thought I'd trust. Someone I didn't understand at all, but chose to listen to, chose to feel with." His voice cracked, but he didn't stop. "Connection isn't perfect. It's messy, confusing. Sometimes it hurts. But it's real. It's alive. And if enough of us choose it, even when it's hard, we can starve the thing that wants us quiet. We can fight back without firing a shot." He looked at Vecra. They smiled not with their face, but with light. Alex closed his eyes. "I'm giving you everything. Our memories, our fears, our love, our truth. Use it. Share it. Don't forget it. Because this is our last transmission." He hit send. The orb cracked open like a star. Light burst outward, not heat, not fire, but raw, felt memory. It raced through the mist, through the Voidmen, through the psychic weight pressing down on every living thing across space. And for one breathless moment, everything stopped. No voices, no whispers, just stillness. Then something unexpected. The Voidmen shuddered. Not with anger, with confusion. It began to unravel, not explode, but dissolve. Thread by thread, thought by thought, unable to feed on what it couldn't unbind. Alex and Vecra watched it fall apart. Not destroyed by weapons, but by empathy. By understanding. By the echo of two souls who refused to let fear have the final word. Ship floated in silence. Alex didn't know how long they drifted. Hours. Days. Maybe time itself bent differently now. But eventually, the mist cleared. And through the window, stars returned. And Earth shined brighter. Back on the station, and later across the planet, reports came in of people changing. Talking again. Reaching out. Not because they understood what had happened, but because they felt something shift. In cities, strangers hugged. Families called each other. People paused before shouting online. Something ancient had lifted. Something invisible had healed. It wouldn't be perfect, but it would be enough. Alex sat at the helm, exhausted, smiling weakly. "You think it's over?" he asked. Vecra looked out the window. "No," they said, "but now it can begin." Alex nodded. Then leaned back. And for the first time in what felt like forever, he let his eyes close, heart steady. Not afraid. Not alone. Just human and something more. Somewhere in deep space, carried forever in wave and memory. His voice still echoed. Does the bulge between my legs intrigue you, human? A question, a warning, a beginning dot, and now an answer.